Hi students, let us continue our discussion about moving charges and magnetism. So my name is Fanindra. I am a lecturer in physics working in Vigyan institutions. In our previous discussion, we have learned that whenever the charge is at rest, whenever the charge is at rest condition, there is some electric field is developed, that is electrostatic field. Electric field is developed around the charge. Similarly, after Oersted conducted his experiment, we came to know that whenever current is flowing in the conductor, whenever current is flowing in a conductor, along with the electric field, there is also some magnetic field is also present. Electric field plus magnetic field is also present. After Oersted conducted an experiment, as we discussed in our previous videos, whenever a magnetic needle placed near to a current carrying conductor, there is some deflection in the current carrying conductor, from which we came to know that whenever current is flowing inside a conductor, there is an electric field and also some magnetic field is also present. So that means whenever consider a conductor like this, whenever a current I is flowing in the conductor, there is some electric field and also the magnetic field. Now here we need to calculate what is the strength of the magnetic field at a point P. Suppose here at a point P, we need to calculate what is the strength of the magnetic field at point P due to this current carrying conductor, for which mainly we have two laws. There are, first one is Biot-Savart's law. Biot-Savart's law, and second one is Ampere's law. Biot-Savart's law and Ampere's law. So from which the magnitude of the magnetic field induction can be calculated, and the direction of the magnetic field can be known by right hand thumb rule. So where in which if we place the right hand like this and the thumb finger, if the thumb finger indicates the direction of the current, then the direction in which our fingers are closed gives the direction of the magnetic field. And the strength of the magnetic field can be calculated by using these two laws, that is Biot-Savart's law and Ampere's law. So in this session we will discuss about what is Biot-Savart's law. What is Biot-Savart's law? From which how we can calculate the magnetic field induction for a current carrying conductor. And we will see some examples. For a straight current carrying conductor, what is the strength of the magnetic field? For an infinitely long wire, what is the strength of the magnetic field? In this session of video we will discuss. Okay students, let's move on to our first topic, that is Biot-Savart's law. So what is the statement of the Biot-Savart's law? For that, consider a conductor in which a current is flowing. Let us consider a conductor like this, in which a current I is flowing in the conductor. Now we need to calculate the magnetic field at a point P. Let P is the point at which the strength of the magnetic field we want to calculate. For that, consider a small element in this conductor. Let this be a small element of length dl. Now let the distance from the point to dl be r, or this be r. The distance from the point P to the element dl is r. And now the current element, the if current element is a vector quantity, and the for this length dl, the vector direction is given the like a tangent at this point. Let theta be the angle made by the current with the line joining the point P to the element. Okay. Now, according to Biot-Savart's law, the strength of the, we need to calculate the strength of the magnetic field at the point due to this current carrying element dl. So, according to Biot-Savart's law, the strength of the magnetic field strength of the magnetic field or the intensity of the magnetic field induction due to a current carrying element that is dl here is due to a current carrying element dl is given like this in four formulas. First one is the strength of the magnetic field is directly proportional to strength of the current. Strength of the current, that is dV, the strength of the magnetic field induction due to only small element dl, so we are writing the dV, only the magnitude, so mod dB is directly proportional to strength of the current. What is the current flowing in the conductor? We have not taken it as I, so dB is directly proportional to I. Let it be the equation 1. Okay, now, and he given like this, the strength of the magnetic field due to a current carrying element is directly proportional to length of the element. That is mod dB is directly proportional to length of the element dl. So dB is directly proportional to dl. Let it be the equation number 2. And third one, the strength of the magnetic field due to a current carrying element is directly proportional to sine of the angle between the current and line joining the point to the element. Which means mod dB is directly proportional to sine of the angle. What is the angle between the line joining the element and the current? It is nothing but theta. So mod dB is directly proportional to sine theta. Let it be the equation number 3. So, and he also given like this, the strength of the magnetic field induction due to a current carrying element is, fourth one is inversely proportional to square of the distance square of the distance between the element and the point. What is the distance between the element and the point? It is nothing but r. So dv, mod dv is proportional to, as it is said, inversely proportional 1 by square of the distance, that is r square. So mod dv is proportional to 1 by r square. Let it be the equation number 4. Okay, this is the statement of Biot-Savart's law. What is this? The strength of the magnetic field due to a current carrying element is directly proportional to the strength of the current, and is directly proportional to the length of the element, and is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the current and the line joining the element, and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the element and the point. So from which we have given 4 equations. From these 4 equations we can write like this. From these 4 equations, by combining all these equations, so dv, mod dv is equal to, what is the first one? Is directly proportional to I and proportional to dl, proportional to sin theta, and is inversely proportional to 1 by r square. So we can write it as mod dv is directly proportional to I into dl into sin theta divided by r square. By combining all these equations, mod dv is directly proportional to I into dl sin theta by r square. So by taking this proportionality with a constant, that is mod dv is equal to, by a constant, mu naught by 4 pi into I dl sin theta by r square. So mod dv is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square, which is the equation for the magnitude of the magnetic field due to a small current carrying element. So from which we have calculated only for the small element dl. If you want to calculate for the total length of this element, then the total magnetic field induction due to this whole conductor B can be given as B is equal to integral of dB. By integrating for the small element to the total length of the element, we can calculate the magnetic field for the total current carrying conductor at a point P. Okay, now dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I dl sin theta by r square. What is meant by mu naught? So mu naught is nothing but permeability of free space. Permeability of free space. So the value of mu naught by 4 pi is equal to 10 power minus 7. The value of mu naught by 4 pi is 10 power minus 7, and the units of mu naught by 4 pi is, as the units for magnetic field is Tesla and the units for current is amperes, dl length of the element meters by r square, that is meter square. So by calculating we can get mu naught by 4 pi, that is equal to 10 power minus 7, units are Tesla meter per ampere square. Sorry, Tesla meter per ampere. Mu naught by 4 pi, the value of mu naught by 4 pi is 10 power minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Okay, so here we calculated only the magnitude of the magnetic field induction. So as the magnetic field induction or the strength of the magnetic field is a vector quantity, we have both direction and the magnitude. So in vector form we can write it in vector form. In vector form, the magnetic field induction for a small current carrying element can be written as dB bar is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into IDL is a current carrying element, I into DL cross R cap, which is a unit vector along the line joining the point to the element, R cap by R square, or which can also be written as dB bar is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into IDL bar cross R bar divided by R cube, where R bar is the position vector along the line joining the element to the point P. Here it is just a unit vector, in this R bar is a position vector. So this is the vector form for the, we need to calculate for the magnetic field due to a current carrying element according to Biot-Savart's law. So this is the expression for the Biot-Savart's law, a simple expression. So what is the magnitude of the magnetic field according to Biot-Savart's law, which is nothing but dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi IDL sin theta by R square. Only for the small element dA. If we need to calculate for the total conductor, we need to integrate over the total length. Now we have already discussed that what is the strength of the magnetic field for a small current carrying element. By using Biot-Savart's law, we have given an expression like this: dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into dL sin theta by R square. So for that, from which we can calculate, here we need to calculate the magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. We need to calculate what is the magnetic field due to a straight conductor which is carrying a current at a point. Okay, so for that, let us consider a current carrying conductor, a straight current carrying conductor like this. So let it be a conductor in which current I is flowing. Let L is the length of the conductor. Capital L is the length of the conductor. We need to calculate the magnetic field at a point P. So let it be the point P. At this point, we need to calculate what is the strength of the magnetic field. So let the point P, the perpendicular distance from the conductor to the point P be D. So the perpendicular distance from the point P to the conductor is D. And this point P makes an angles of alpha, and it makes an angle beta downwards also. Let it be the angle beta. Let alpha and the beta are the angle made from the point P to the conductor, both the ends of the conductor. To calculate the magnetic field, let us consider a small element. Let us consider a small element. Let it be the small element. The element is, length of the element is dy. And let the distance from this point to the length of the element be y. Okay. Now the distance from the element to the point P is r. Let r be the distance from the element dy to the point P for which we need to calculate the magnetic field. And it makes an angle of, let here theta is the angle made between the line joining the element to the point and the current. Theta is the angle made between the current and the line joining to the element and the point. If this angle is theta, let the angle here is phi. Angle here is phi. Okay. Now, according to Biot-Savart's law, the strength of the magnetic field is given like this: mod dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I into dl. In the previous session, we considered it as length of the element as dl. Here the length of the element is dy. So I into dy into sine. What is the angle between the current and the line joining the point to the element? That is theta. So sine theta divided by distance between the point and the element, that is r square. Nothing but r square. So according to Biot-Savart's law, the strength of the magnetic field due to the small current carrying element dy is mu naught by 4 pi I into dy sin theta by r square. So let it be the equation number 1. Let it be the equation number 1. Okay. Now from this triangle, so let it be the O and let it be the Q. OPQ. From the triangle OPQ, so from triangle OPQ, what is tan phi? We know that the tan phi is nothing but opposite side by adjacent side. So tan phi is equal to opposite side y divided by adjacent side d. So tan phi is equal to y by d. From which y is equal to, we can write like this, y is equal to d into tan phi. Now differentiating on both sides, that implies differentiating on both sides, dy is equal to d into differentiation of tan is nothing but secant square, that is secant square phi into d phi. dy is equal to d into secant square phi into d phi. Let it be the equation number 2. Okay. Now from the same triangle OPQ, what is meant by cos phi? Cos phi is equal to, cos phi is nothing but adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side d, hypotenuse is r. So cos phi is equal to d divided by r, from which we can write d is equal to, so cos phi is equal to d by r. What is secant phi? Secant phi is nothing but 1 by cos phi, nothing but 1 by cos phi, that is equal to r by d. From which we can write r is equal to d into secant phi. R is equal to d into secant phi. Let it be the equation number 3. And from this triangle, so we know that the total angle in a triangle is 180 degrees. So here angle is 90 degrees, theta and phi. So theta plus phi plus 90 is nothing but 180, or we can write theta is equal to 90 minus phi. Theta is equal to 90 minus phi. Let it be the equation number 4. So from the triangle OPQ, we have taken 3 equations. Okay, substituting these 3 equations in the equation number 1, we can get mod dB. Mod dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I into, what is dy? dy is nothing but d into secant square phi d phi into sin theta. Sin of theta is nothing but sin of 90 minus phi. Sin of 90 minus phi divided by r square. Here r is d into secant phi. So r square means d square secant square phi. So here secant square phi gets cancelled, and here d is get cancelled. So mod dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I into d phi into sin 90 minus phi, that is nothing but cos phi divided by d. So this is the magnetic field, strength of the magnetic field only due to this small element dy. But we need to calculate for the total conductor. So total magnetic field due to this straight conductor carrying a current at a point P is given by B is equal to integral of dB. B is equal to integral of dB, which is equal to integral of dB is nothing but mu naught by 4 pi into I cos phi d phi divided by d. Within the limits of, so from the upper limit the P is making an angle of alpha, and for lower point it makes an angle beta. So alpha to minus beta. Why we are taking minus? So because the angle is calculated in anti-clockwise direction. Alpha is calculated in clockwise direction and the beta is calculated in anti-clockwise direction. So we have taken minus beta. Therefore, total magnetic field induction B is equal to, so we want to write the constant outside. So mu naught by 4 pi into I by d integral of cos phi d phi from minus beta to alpha. What is the integral of cos phi? Integral of cos phi is nothing but a sin phi. So B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d sin phi within the limits minus beta to alpha. By substituting the limits, we can write the above equation of B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d into sin alpha minus sin minus beta. Sin alpha minus sin minus beta. What is meant by sin minus beta? Sin minus beta is nothing but minus sin beta. Therefore, the equation can be written as B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Therefore, the strength of the magnetic field due to a straight conductor carrying a current at a point P making an angle alpha and beta with the both ends of the conductor is given by B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d sin alpha plus sin beta. It is only the magnitude. You can write mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d sin alpha plus sin beta. Sin alpha plus sin beta. Okay, this is the magnetic field for a straight conductor carrying a current of finite length making an angles of alpha and beta at a point P which is at a distance d, perpendicular distance d from the current carrying conductor. So it is very important in the objective point of view. So let us consider some special cases in this for a straight conductor. So until now we have discussed about the strength of the magnetic field due to a small current carrying element, that is mod dB is equal to, according to Biot-Savart's law, it is mu naught by 4 pi into IDL sin theta by r square. So according to Biot-Savart's law, so the strength of the current carrying element for a small current carrying element is mod dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi IDL sin theta by r square. And from which we have calculated the magnetic field for a conductor, straight conductor carrying a current I like this. So let it be the conductor of length L in which a current of I is flowing. We need to calculate the magnetic field induction at this point P, which is at a distance d, from the conductor. Perpendicular distance between the current carrying conductor and the point is d, and let it makes an angle of alpha and angle here is beta. If alpha and the beta are the angles made from the point to the conductor, at the end of the conductor, then the strength of the magnetic field we have calculated B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by D into sin alpha plus sin beta. So in our last expression we have calculated the magnetic field for a straight conductor carrying a current of a finite length is making an angles alpha and beta like this if B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by D sin alpha plus sin beta. So if in the question, so if you given like this, that is if the angles are given like this, let it be the conductor, let I is the current flowing in the conductor and length of the conductor BL. So we need to calculate at a point P which is at a perpendicular distance D from the conductor. The projections are like this. Instead of giving the angles here, if the angles of here are given, that is let it be theta 1 and theta 2. Instead of giving alpha and beta, the angles here are given. Then what is the formula for the magnetic field induction? So if the angle is given, let it be the alpha and beta. So from this triangle, the angle inside the total triangle should be 180 degrees. So the theta 1 from this triangle, theta 1 is nothing but here the angle here is as it is perpendicular 90 degrees. So that is 90 minus alpha, or alpha is equal to 90 minus theta 1. Similarly, beta is equal to, in triangle downwards, beta is equal to 90 minus theta 2. So by substituting here, the strength of the magnetic field mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by D into sin, instead of alpha we need to substitute 90 minus theta 1 plus sin, instead of beta 90 minus theta 2. So the expression will be mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by D into sin 90 minus theta is nothing but cos theta 1 plus cos theta 2. So this is the magnetic field induction if angles are given like this. So if the, or in another case or in another problem, if the given case is like this, instead of considering a conductor of finite length, if you have given a conductor of infinite length, so that means let it be the conductor of infinite length in which current I is flowing. Now for this infinite length of the conductor, we need to calculate the magnetic field at the point B. Point B. Let the distance from the conductor perpendicular distance be D. So for a straight conductor, we need to substitute this formula, we need the angles alpha and beta. As it is infinitely long, the angles made here are 90 degrees. So alpha is equal to 90 and beta is equal to 90 degrees. So by substituting mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by D sin 90 plus second one sin alpha plus sin beta, sin 90 plus sin 90. So mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by D into sin 90 value is 1, sin 90 is also 1, so 1 plus 1, that is nothing but 2. Mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by D into 2, so 2 in for 2 times, so B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi D. So for an infinitely long current carrying conductor, the strength of the magnetic field at a point P which is at a distance D from the conductor is mu naught I by 2 pi D. Okay. So if you want to calculate, so infinitely long wire at a point which is at a distance from the one end of the wire. So point from the one end of the wire, let it be the distance be d. It is also an infinitely long wire. So then strength of the magnetic field at this point P is given by, so mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d into sine alpha. As it is infinitely long, the value of alpha will be 90 degrees. So 9 sine 90 plus sine beta. Sine beta, as it is only downwards, it makes an angle of 0. So that is sine 0. So mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d into sine 90 value 1 plus sine 0 0. So strength of the magnetic field B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I by d. If the point is at a distance d from the one end of the wire, then the strength of the magnetic field is given by mod B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I by d. So by using Biot-Savart's law, we have calculated what is the strength of the magnetic field for a given conductor. In this case, we have considered a straight conductor of a finite length and infinite length. Okay, thank you.